Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and today we're going to start preparing for seed starting. And one of the first things I like to do before I start all of my seeds for the new season is clean out my current seed storage. Now, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions and thoughts on seed storage. Everything I'm going through today is just me, all right? So you might have a totally different opinion and it might work perfectly for you, and that's awesome. And I am very open to suggestions and thoughts and comments. So drop those down below, letting me know what you do for all your seed storage and what suggestions you have for others. Okay, so we're gonna start very simply by pulling out my seeds. And these are stored in photo organization boxes. So it's like a clear box, and in the inside are individual containers. I have them labeled because I have a label maker that's like 15 years old. Got them all labeled, and they're typically in here in alphabetical order. Now, every year before I buy too many varieties of seeds, I do like to go through these. So I want to talk about a few things that I'm considering when I'm going through my seeds. Now, any seeds that I end up deciding to get rid of or be done with, I typically will pass those along to other people. Seeds don't technically have an expiration date. A lot of seed companies will put a 2 to 3 year expiration date on their packages, but in reality, seeds don't necessarily expire. And while they don't expire, they do lose viability. So the older a seed is, the potential that it might have a lower germination rate or not be a viable seed to produce a future plant. But also in reality, the oldest seed that has ever been germinated was a 2,000-year-old Judean date palm seed, and 2,000 years old, still able to germinate. So that alone will tell you that seeds can last quite a long time. Now, I have seen some people talk about a water test for seeds to see if they're viable or not. You put the seeds in the water. Anything that sinks down to the bottom is a viable seed. Any seed that floats is a bad seed. Everything I've read has said that that's kind of an old wives' tale, so don't necessarily fall for that. If you have an older seed and you're not sure on the viability, go ahead and use the paper towel method where you use a wet paper towel, you put the seed in between the paper towels, you put it in a clear plastic bag, and either you put it in the winter, you put it in the dark or cold, whatever the seed needs. And then that allows you to see which of those seeds is viable, which of them sprout, and then take those sprouted ones and plant them in the soil. The other option, which is the option I tend to go to, is I just overseed. Anything that is an older seed, I overseed it whenever I'm starting it so that I can raise the opportunity that I might get germination in each of my seed cells. Now, y'all let me know if you've done the water test and that's something that you follow time and time again. I've just seen it completely split on the internet. But if you have done the water test multiple times, so it works for you or it doesn't work for you, let me know. Now, seeds can be stored in a number of different things. We can do sealed containers, plastic bags, wax or paper envelopes. Typically, plastic or glass with an airtight seal is going to be better for the seed in the long run. It's going to help preserve it for longer. If you're storing in paper products, like all of these are all in paper products, this is really only supposed to be for short term, which is why mine also go in a clear container. But yeah, seedlings stored in paper aren't supposed to really be forever. If you're going to use it within a few months or a year, you're fine with just leaving them in a paper envelope. Now, we typically want to store them in a cool, dry location that's typically dark and airtight. So I keep most of my seeds inside. Sometimes if I'm thinking ahead, I'll toss a bunch of them in my refrigerator ahead of time to just aid in their germination. Some seeds require cold stratification, so they need to be wet and go in a cold refrigerator or something like that to get them to wake up to germinate. But you definitely want it to be a dark space. You want it to be an airtight, kind of situation so that we're not allowing like large amounts of humidity into or around the seeds. Humidity definitely causes some issues. So if you do store seeds in a refrigerator, which you can, It's really good storing seeds at 40 to 50 degrees. I don't have a basement location for something like that, so mine are just stored inside. But if you want to store them in your basement, that's great. If you want to store them in your refrigerator, that's also fine, but you need to be aware of the humidity. So definitely store them in like a crisper drawer where you can make it as low humidity as possible in that drawer. It's also important to remember that freezing can cause major issues with a lot of seeds. So you need to be aware of that. There are a lot of seeds that lose their viability or their ability to germinate if they become frozen. So before you put any seeds in the freezer, make sure you research and see if it's okay to put that particular variety of seed in a freezer. Okay, so typically at this time is where I like to just basically go through each of my elements and kind of just work through it. Now, this particular container is herbs, vegetables, fruit, that type of thing. So that's what's all in here. Everything else is cut flowers, perennials, annuals, things along those lines, and they are in alphabetical order. So let me do a little bit of shifting around. And it makes me laugh because originally I started with just one of these guys, and then all these years later, I have 4. I will say some of these are empty now, so I literally can take the empty container out, meaning it's not a flower that I intend on growing in the future, remove the label, and then redistribute as needed. I'm going to just talk about some of the seeds that I've gotten here. We'll go through them and I'll talk a little bit about them. And I am one of those people who I tend to empty a seed packet and for some stupid reason, put it back in the container empty. I think my thought process is that when I take it out to start it, I'm like, oh, I don't have any. I don't, but still, I don't know why I actually do that. So the first container is ageratum. It's a mixed ageratum. This variety is mixed ageratum from Baker Creek. And then this other variety is the timeless mix, which I grew this last year and really, really liked. However, it had a lot more green than flowers, which I think might be a soil thing. I think that my soil was potentially too fertile. Amaranthus, I haven't grown amaranthus in quite a few years. I might still have quite a bit. Yeah, I have Coral Fountain, Love Lies Bleeding, Mira, Autumn Touch, Yellow Amaranth, and Dreadlocks Amaranthus. So the reason I haven't grown amaranthus in a lot of years is because it spreads like wildfire, or I like to sometimes say wild flowers. It spreads like crazy, and I have literally had to lay down weed barrier in a couple of my big beds because of how ferocious amaranthus has been. So just a warning to you regarding that. Now, Ami or Queen Anne's lace, I have not planted it since the very first time I planted it. I set these seeds out and then it now reseeds itself and comes back every year. So I don't actually need this container anymore. So I'm definitely just going to remove it and go ahead and remove the label. All right, we've got some asters here, just taking a peek. I haven't done those in a lot of years. Bachelor's buttons, which I do not intend on growing again anytime soon. So I'm going to pull out those seeds to give away and then remove the label on this container. Bee balm. I don't believe I started any other bee balm. I've had issues with bee balm in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove that. Bells of Ireland. Love. Canterbury bells. Love and hate. I'll probably need to grow some of these for Kristen. I should have started these already. These are biennials, so the first year they're going to be green, the second year they're going to produce flowers. Maybe I'll go ahead and start some of these this season so that maybe Kristen can plant a bunch out on her property and then the year after have some. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of times, sometimes you can trick these guys. Maybe that's what I'll do. Start these during the summer, plant them out in the fall, overwinter them, and it tricks them that that's the end of their first season. And then come spring, they produce new blooms. So maybe we'll try to do that. Celosia. I got celosia all day, y'all. Chief Persimmon, which I think is one that Kristen wanted. Orient number 2, which I think I had poor germination with. Orange Queen Improved. Chief Red Flame. Sunday Bright Pink. Celosia Early Rose. Celosia Orange Pink. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of clean out on the celosia. I just don't need this many. And I know there's some that I didn't really enjoy. Flamingo feather was not one I liked. This variegated I loved very much. I'm going to keep that. Eternity mix. I'll let that one go. Orient, I'm going to let go. Chief Red Flame, I'm going to let go. Sunday Bright Pink, going to let go. I'm going to keep the Early Rose and the Orange Peach. This Orange Queen Improved, and the Chief Persimmon. I don't like for my containers to be overwhelmed with seeds packets, so cleaning out is important. Chrysanthemums, I now know that a lot of my chrysanthemums actually can't be grown through seed, and that was just a fool me, in the beginning, earlier in my seed starting career. Craspedia, I'm not going to start it anytime soon, so we'll let that one go. That one's just a couple of years old. Cress, I don't plan on planting cress ever again. It has grown and spread like crazy, so I'm not interested in doing that. Columbine is not a plant that I've been excited to start. We'll let that go. Cosmos, Apricotta will keep. Apricot Lemonade, Fizzy White, Zenzia, Apricot. Yeah, we've got a lot. Double Click, Extra Mix. Okay, I think the reason I have so many of these is because Kristen wanted me to start some of these for her. So I'm going to let some of them go. Okay, and that is one that I need to look at starting for the spring. I think what I'm going to do is actually get a list going over here of, as I'm going through, ones that I would like to start for spring so that I don't forget. Last year I started a lot of dahlias from seed. It was fun. Not really interested in doing it again. I thought I would want to do it again. It was really fun to start it in the beginning, but in the end, they just didn't really give me anything. Didn't give me any great cut flowers. And then they bloom for such a short amount of time due to my weather. So I'm just going to let dahlias go and move on. It's a lesson I learned a few years ago. Dahlias just don't like my garden. Delphinium, we will keep a lot of this. Cottage mix. Got a lot of lupin in here that probably need to be moved. Okay, we've got a wide variety of delphinium in here, which I need to start another round of delphinium because that darn delphinium, that darn armadillo pulled up so many of my delphinium seedlings. So you can see I've already gone through one box, y'all, and cleaned out half of it. So half of it are empty containers. Also found a variety that was mixed into the wrong place. That can also be an issue over time. So we'll go ahead and switch. I'm going to leave the empty space in here for now. And what I'm going to do is once I'm all done and I've gone through all of them, I will go back and redistribute them in alphabetical order. Dianthus carnations, that's also, I put Sweet William for that. And I do like growing Sweet William. However, I'm good on Sweet William for the time being. So I think I'm going to let this one go. This variety is Sweet William Double Blend. It's about 12 to 20 inches tall. We'll let it go. And I know that I might seem a little flippant about not keeping everything. It's better for my brain not to keep everything because the reality of it is I feel like I'm just hoarding it when I could just pass this along and share with somebody else. Echinacea is empty, but I do like growing echinacea from seed, so I'm going to keep that. Eryngium, I have failed at Eryngium or globe thistle so many times over and over again. I think I'm going to let them go because what I found is I do much better starting Eryngium from bare root, and it is my intention to start more of that this next year, so we'll let that one go. Feverfew, I've failed out so many times over and over again, and I know lots of people are like, oh, it's so easy. Tell me your secret. So we're going to let go of that one as well. Forget-me-nots, we're going to hang on to a little bit longer. I do like the Chinese forget-me-nots. I did start some this year, and they're already planted out into the garden. So they should overwinter, and theoretically, they should come back for me over the years. They should reseed themselves, and I should have more. If I get to this time next year and they have started reseeding themselves, then I'll come back and let go of this particular container and let those extra seeds go. Foxglove, we're definitely going to hold on to. I love myself some foxglove. Now, I started a whole bunch of foxglove from seed. Then I forgot to pot it up in larger containers. And when I finally potted it up in the larger containers, it was already in rough shape. And then I forgot to water them. And they're all dead. So yay me. And I had like 30. So here we are. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not going to have foxglove for next year. I could try to start some now. Maybe I'll try to start some now. Should we? Maybe that's what I do. I'll go ahead. I'm going to make, go ahead and pull these out and put them to the side. I'm going to leave a space for the foxglove. Maybe I'll just go ahead and get some started. We are having, of course, unnaturally warm weather. And so maybe I can still get them going and then get them outside even when it's cold outside and just give them a little protection. And maybe I'll get some blooms in the spring. I don't know. We'll see. We'll try that out. Let's see. Gomphrena, raspberry cream, Audrey White. I do like Gomphrena. I probably will plant it again. My Lisianthus are currently empty because I started like every Lisianthus that ever existed, and they are beautiful and doing really, really good. So that's great. I started a bunch and then I gave a ton to Kristen. So I will keep that container because I do see myself growing Lisianthus again in the future. Marigolds, we're going to do some serious clean out on those. We're just going to keep our cocos, and we're probably just going to let all the other marigolds go. Oh, I am going to keep the Mission Giant Yellow because I do like that particular one. So I have a lot of other marigolds that I've tried over the years. I mean, look at all these. Starfire Mix, Fancy Mix, Petite Yellow, Orange Hawaii, Sugar and Spice, Kilimanjaro White, Mission Marigold, we'll keep that one again, Spun Orange, and then Cracker Jack, which are actually a little bit taller. And I'm just going to let all of these go at this point because now I've kind of learned what marigolds I prefer. What I'll end up doing is I'll just list my seeds up on my HOA Facebook page, and anybody who wants them can come take them. And I have lots of gardeners in my neighborhood. Lots of them follow me. We chat and go over stuff, which works really, really good. All right, so this is the miscellaneous flower container. And it is filled with a ton of stuff. So let's take a look. This is one of the issues why I have to keep cleaning out because some of these need their own container so that I will remember to start them. All right, Didicus Blue Lace. Tried it last year, struggled with a little bit. Candy Tuff, I'm gonna let go. Toothache Plant, didn't love it, gonna let go. Clary Sage has a lot of issues in my area with spider mites. We're gonna let that go. This Joey Lansdale, I keep meaning to start it and then I never do. So we're going to leave. We're going to keep that. Let's see. This is an Atriplex. This is from Kristen. Atriplex Copper Plume. I don't really know anything about it, but we're going to hang on to that. Alyssum. We're going to let that go because I didn't love growing Alyssum. I'm going to let the Royal Carpet Alyssum go as well. I also have this Perio She's So Red, and I do like Perea. It looks like coleus, so I'm actually going to put that aside and put it in a coleus container, which I just realized, like, I guess I didn't have a separate container for coleus. That's a problem. Couple of varieties of nasturtiums, and then crimson clover, which I'm also going to let go because I started it. I liked it just fine and then ended up not liking it at all. So just kind of let that go at this point. For the miscellaneous, I'm going to leave everything I just took out for now, and then once I figure out what needs its own containers, I'll go back to it. Orlea, I have struggled with for years. We're going to let Orlea go. I think it's good to recognize what things don't work in your garden. I think that's really, really good. Ornamental grass we'll hold on to because I am going to be harvesting that ornamental millet that I grew this last year, and it was beautiful, and I'm going to have tons of it for the fall next year. Pansies, I have tons of pansies that I've grown over the years. However, some of my older ones, my Super Beacon, my Black Devil, and my Brushstrokes Viola, I'm going to let those go. Pass them on to somebody else who might really enjoy them. And this container is filled with seeds that obviously spilled out. This is fun. I'm glad I'm going through this and chatting about it. This is literally what's happening in my brain as I'm going through my stuff. So hopefully it helps you as well. This next one is petunia. So I still have the Super Bisma Triumph mix. God, I can't believe I still have some of these. These are from years ago. These are really pretty and fluffy and gorgeous. Petunias from the Dollar Tree. These grew beautifully last year. So if you're looking to do it for very cheap, this is 4 for $1. That's a good one to do. And then petunia lace veil, also from several years ago. I still have a very few of those. Do I? No, it's empty. Okay, we'll let that one go. And then I also have a Prism Sunshine. And I have more petunias. I have stacks of seeds that need to be put away that I haven't even done with. But this works better to go ahead and clean them first before putting everything away. Phlox, growing phlox from seed is not something I do. So I did it in the beginning. Now I prefer to just purchase it bare root or the plant. So we'll let that go. Rudbeckia, I started a lot of Rudbeckia from seed. It's one of those things that I wish I had gotten to this summer and had it ready for fall, but I didn't, so it's fine. But maybe I can get some of these started now for the spring. So let me write that down. Okay, another container done. Really, really good. Okay, next on the list is Saponaria, which is definitely something I want to grow and which needs to go early spring. So I'm going to make a note of that. I have white beauty and pink beauty, and I would love to grow some Saponaria for cut flowers this next year. Snapdragons. All right, so 20 peach. I have a whole bunch in here, and I went through these earlier this year when I started a whole bunch of new ones. I did want to remove this one, Snapdragon Lucky Lips, because it's a short variety and I don't grow the short varieties. 20 peach is also a short variety, but it's a short variety that I use in containers, and I don't really necessarily like the Lucky Lips one. Scabiosa is a plant that I've decided not to grow anymore, just not into it. So I'm gonna let those go. I don't really enjoy, the plants take up a lot of room and produce a small amount of flowers. And then I don't enjoy harvesting Scabiosa. I find it difficult. And so we're going to let that go as well. Status. I did not start any status for this next year. I was going a different direction because I found that this last year with all my status, I didn't harvest any of it to use in arrangements. But I do have a few varieties in here. And if I start some of this, I would be starting it for Kristen. And the variety she had given me was a pastel mix. So it would be good to get some of that started for her too. Stock. I tried stock several times and just never really had a really good experience with it. So I haven't grown it in a couple of years. Straw flower. Let's see. White, purple red, silvery rose, apricot. I think that all of these were ones that Kristen wanted me to grow for her. Typically, I start mine in the summer, plant them out in the fall, and then overwinter them, and then get stuff in the spring. I didn't find that I was overly harvesting those either. And maybe I just got tired, y'all. Maybe I totally did. I don't know. Okay, sunflowers. I have sunflowers Pro Cut, sunflowers branching, sunflowers short. I have a wide variety of sunflower containers depending on what's going on. So I've struggled with a lot of my Pro Cut germination. So I'm going to let some of my older Pro Cut germination go to the wayside, and we'll get restarted on that. I'll have to order some new fresh ones. There's a couple of smaller, shorter varieties of sunflowers that I had meant to grow this last year, so I will, and I didn't get to it. So one of them was Little Becca, which is a 2 to 3 foot plant, and the other one is Smiley Sunflower, which is only about a 13 to 16 inch tall plant. And I was interested in growing some of the shorter varieties this next year. I also picked up a Sunfinity variety. which is similar to the Sun Credibles. So I would like to give that a try. Next we have branching. All right, clean that a little bit. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how good this feels. And then the short varieties, I did not end up putting stuff in that, so we'll just leave that as be. Sweet peas. Pretty sure Kristen wanted me to start a bunch of these for her. We're kind of behind on starting those. Typically, you would start them, plant them out in the fall, and then have them for next spring. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to them for this year, and then maybe next summer I'll start some of them for her. I had them in my garden. I found that they attracted a massive amount of spider mites, so they're not something I really want to mess around with again. Tithonia, I love growing Tithonia. Actually, this last one I planted, I had very poor germination, so I'm going to let that go, but I would like to replace that with some more seeds. This container is vines, and I have the Ruby Moon hyacinth bean in it. And then I also have cranberry beans, which are a bush bean, which doesn't belong in here at all, so I'll let those go. We'll keep the hyacinth bean though. Violas, my violas and pansies all really need to be together instead of a separate container. So we will go ahead and pull those. Let's see, one of the older ones is this Bowles Black. I'm going to let that go. Okay, and we've still got a few more here. I feel like both of these are older. I'm going to let these go. Yarrow, I don't grow yarrow from seed anymore. Typically buy the plants. It's not my favorite plant, so I actually don't really buy the plants anymore either. And then zinnias, tons of zinnias. Not even going to go through all of the zinnias in here. There's a lot. This is regular zinnias right here. This one right here is Queen Lime series zinnias. I love zinnias. I'll grow lots of zinnias, so we'll leave those as is for right now. Okay, and then the last container, which is vegetables and herbs, which I really don't grow much of anymore either. So let's go through here. Basil, I do grow basil. Let me look through this. I like the mammoths. I am queen, dark opal, cinnamon, sweet Thai. Okay, we got a lot in here, which are looking really good. We're going to keep all those. Carrots, I don't grow carrots. Y'all know me. I don't grow a ton of vegetables. And the ones I do, I grow because I think they're easy for me. Chard and mustard, which I did grow in the past, but found that it got eaten up very quickly. Chives, dill, and parsley. We're going to let all of those go. Corn. I failed with corn. I'm only going to grow stuff that brings me joy. Cucumbers. I am going to hold on to cucumbers. I would like to grow them again this next year. I've got a couple of varieties of pickle bush, a Space Master 80, and then a pickling cucumber called Cool Customer. Fennel. I haven't grown fennel from seed in a long time. It's a perennial for me, so it just comes back. Kale. I feel like my kale got eaten up a lot. This would be more of like a winter thing. This would also be really good for fall blooms. We'll hold on to it for now. Lettuce, I don't grow lettuce. I should, but I don't. Mint, I don't grow mint for obvious reasons. Peppers, I grow lots of peppers, but I'm going to let the lilac bell peppers go because I did not love them. I'm also going to let go, I think I'll hold on to my Escamillo and my Jedi hot peppers. We'll hold on to those for now. Pumpkins and gourds. This is my, also where I keep my loofah. Baby Boo pumpkins, Jack B. Little. I have some little gourds. Definitely try some more gourds next year. Pumpkins I don't really grow a lot of because they suffer from squash bugs. But I'm going to hold on to some of those because Kristen might want me to start some of those for her. Radish. I don't grow radish. A lot of these I had because they were given to me free with an order from like Baker Creek or something. So tomatoes, I don't plan on growing tomatoes anytime soon, so I'm going to let those go. Here's my coleus packet. I knew it was somewhere. I'm going to put the Perea in there because it's very similar. And then begonias. I don't intend on starting begonias from seed again anytime soon either. I do like growing them from bare root. Okay, that was pretty fabulous. Very exciting. I think what I'm going to do is, instead of having a separate one for very few vegetables, I'm going to go ahead and intermix them with the rest of the stuff. And I also think, before I get going too far, I'm going to go ahead and go through some of these seeds that I have that need to be put away and create any new containers that I need to create and go from there. Okay, well, that felt really good. I just turned up the music to Pink and listened to a bunch of her songs and just rocked out while I was going through the seeds. Feeling really good. Everything's reorganized, relabeled as needed. It also allowed me an opportunity to start putting together a list of items that I would like to be starting soon, which was really fun. Feeling really good about it. And I got to the very end and realized that darn foxglove one was out to the side. So now I have to move everything over one. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's going in right here for now. So the more I think about it, the more I was like, I don't really care. I already started foxglove. I don't want to start foxglove again. I have so many wonderful new things that I'm excited about growing this year. And so I think I'm going to just go ahead and focus on that. But this ended up looking great. And then I just store these up on my top shelves over here, which is great. I actually want to be moving them to the metal shelves over here so it's easier to reach. But I haven't got to organizing over there yet, but I will. Typically, a lot of that happens in these next few weeks as I'm preparing to start seeds. I will probably be starting seeds probably the week of Thanksgiving. I'll be starting quite a few new seeds if you guys want to start along with me. Some of the first ones I'm going to start are geraniums are going to be some of the first ones I start. And I'm going to start some cactus from seed, which I think will be really, really fun. And then after that, we're just going to be off to the races. A lot of focus is going to be on a lot of perennials, starting perennials, and a lot of annuals that we want to use for spring color. All right, you all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's something a little bit different. I just really think it's important to show you all the aspects of the different things that I'm working on, even if it's something as simple as just cleaning out my seeds. I think it's fun. It's also really fun to see what other people have, which is cool. So once again, if you have any comments on storing seeds or suggestions on storing seeds, make sure you drop them below. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the channel so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop an emoji below letting me know you made it to the end and that you say hi. And be sure to check me out on my social media outlets, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.